So welcome to Love Yourself, Love the World. And we're halfway through our series right now. And the first half we kind of focused on our shadows. Some of these shadows we wanted to embrace, but now we want to focus more on...
Shining our light.
Yes. You know, the picker-uppers.
That's right.
So today we are going to focus on
loving the world. So, I mean, one of the things that we do is we actually do things that will show how much we love the world every single day. But we don't ever think about it. We're always thinking about, you know, this and that, or my time, or my schedule. But what ways do you love the world? What ways do you love the world? I mean, the world is more than just the earth. And there's things that we do to love the earth. Earth Day just passed, you know. We plant seeds, we garden, we do things like that. That's loving the world. But we love the world when we smile at somebody. When you smile at somebody, you are sharing an inner light. And that's a way that you can show your love and appreciation for the world. It's simple as that.
So we're I people. We're like, I this, and I that, and I did this, and I did that for this person and that person, or this or that. So, but how can we, that's sort of an input, how can we output to the world? You know?
That's right. What is one thing, you know, ask yourself, what is one thing I can do today to show how much I love the world? Something small. Again, it doesn't have to be a big gesture. It can be something as simple as, I picked up some garbage that was on the street. I picked that up because I love the world. Wonderful.
It could be as deep as shifting your thoughts, you know. Perhaps from like today, I had someone treat me not so good. So that turned me into, you know, wanting to treat others not so good, you know, or to not feel so good, or to beat myself up. So what's that doing for the world?
Nothing.
So I need to get out of my quagmire. So how do we get out of our quagmire? So I could go, where did I love the world today? Oh, F. I don't know if I effing did love the world today, but I could look at it a little deeper. Well, I cuddled with my son this morning. There was a point in the day I had a deep embrace with my beloved husband and had a little hug and a kiss. There was a time, as I'm on my way to work, I was noticing the red buds in the trees, and I was just noticing that red and that growth, that life force that's going to be different tomorrow. So I was just appreciating the trees and how, and the change. That I was loving the world, even though I had a crappy day. There were those smaller aspects. So how can you recognize positive evidence in your day and to get yourself out of your crappy quagmire, or someone else's, because people can just drop their bombs on you, and then all of a sudden you've got a bomb and you're down too. Fuck the bombs. That's right, you know? And I think how we fuck the bombs is to do our exercise.
Exactly. And you know, here's an amazing thing. They've done a lot of scientific studies, and people actually get as much or more satisfaction about giving than they do about receiving. So it's nice to receive something from somebody, but oftentimes you actually feel better when you give something to somebody else. So when you do something or help somebody else out, even if it's in a small way, it actually has the positive benefit of making you feel really good too. These are the simple ways we can love the world. If you see that elderly lady or man who's having some difficulties, offer some assistance. Just small little things make the world a better place. You love the world when you love that person.
How did you love the world today?
How did I love the world today?
From on the spot.
Well, today was not the most loving of the world day. I was wielding a chainsaw. But in the way in which it was a loving way to use the chainsaws, I was preparing a field to have some Boy Scouts come in and plant fresh new trees. So I was cutting out a whole bunch of old sumacs that were either dying or reaching the end of their years. And so, you know, so there was a lot of cutting and clearing, pulling and dragging. But I was doing it so these Boy Scouts could go in and dig those holes and plant those trees, and they're going to feel really good about it. And in a few years, we're going to have a whole nice thicketed forest glen right there. So there we go. I was loving the world. And I was using a chainsaw. So you can have fun in both ways.
So the exercise that we're going to do today is we're going to make a list, and you can start small. You can start small with your little list today. How did I love the world today? For example, you know, there's little things like, I remember Chris the other night, he watched the news, so he went to bed kind of
Pretty
miffed.
grumpy. A little grumpy.
Yeah. But that's going to bring the world down. So we need to really have awareness of our thoughts and our perceptions to lift the world up. And so that's what inspired the exercise, because I had a grumpy pants on my hands.
Yes.
But there's many grumpy pants out there right now with the political, and I don't want to be ignorant, but there's a part of me that just wants to lift it all up, you know? So how can we lift it all up? So we can start small with what are the little ways that we have demonstrated that we've loved the world today. And they can be the little things like giving a hug to your loved one, or admiring the nature around you, or composting, recycling, you know, and then go further in how you're applying conscious efforts to love the world.
That's right.
So, and you'll start to realize you do often, and that could be your gift to you each day, is to make sure you're that good person that you want to be, and to recognize where you are being good to the world, because most of us go through the day beating ourselves up because this or that or whatever. But if we recognize the good, recognize how we did smile at that person, recognize how we did donate that money to the homeless person, or then we're lifting ourselves up and we're lifting the world up at the same time.
That's right. But don't undervalue yourself. But don't undervalue your contributions. That we're all here. We make the world together. The world isn't just one person standing on the earth. The world is all things all together right here and this earth. The whole thing. That's the world. So we are valuable, or we wouldn't be here. Everything in this whole creation works perfectly with each other to create life. When we recognize what we do to make the world a better place, we feel better about ourselves. It lifts the vibration, and other people feel happy and inspired and positive. And the more positive energy we have, then you know, you don't get as caught up when you're scrolling down and reading the news things going, that person, they really burned my bridges, But, you know, what does that do for the world? That brings it down. But when I say, well, these are the positive things that are happening, this is what I did today to make the world a better place. I've empowered. I have done something to make the world a better place. I'm not relying on somebody else to do it. Somebody should do something. Well, I just did something. I did something. Even if it's small, it's something. There is nothing big in this whole universe that isn't comprised of millions or billions of small things coming together. Your whole body is composed of such a huge number, we can't even calculate it, but all these little minute particles coming together and holding their shape so that you have this thing. But it's not just one thing. Take these parts away and it doesn't function as well. You just take away this something about this big, that's your heart. You take that out, the whole thing doesn't work. This body works with everything in it. It needs it all together, no matter how big, no matter how small.
Harmony.
So when we have that harmony, when we have that inner love, we bring it out into the world.
And sometimes we have to create it.
Sometimes we have to create it. Sometimes we have to go out and do intentional acts of goodness and love. Sometimes we have to do that. Because otherwise we get caught up in our mire of stinking thinking. The world sucks. And what is, I mean, that's the energy vibration. That's terrible. We're here, we have this short little life. I want to love and live every day, and I want to love this world because it's the world we have. We don't have any other world. We have this one right here and right now. So if we wait for the next one, we're too late. Here and now, seize the opportunity. Take stock of all those good things that you do every day.
Love yourself.
Love yourself, love the world.
Love the world.
When you have love, it's easy to give love. So love yourself.
Love the world, huh?
Love the
it's
world.
Easy peasy. Make a list. Check
Make
it
a
twice.
list. Look at all the good things. I didn't even realize how many wonderful things
I'm
I
not
do
naughty,
for the
I'm
world
nice.
every day. Most people are. Some people are naughty. But that gives us more opportunity to be nice. It's all good.
Let's send out a vibration to the world. So we can hold emerald green in our heart. So let's just sit comfortably and plant our roots into the earth and grow our stem up. Feel our crown lift. Imagine a flower on the top of the head and a flower in the heart. this emerald flower. And we're just going to breathe emerald green in and out, the greening of life, the greening of universal love. And as you inhale, you can feel that heart close. And as you exhale, you feel that heart open like a flower. So take a few deep emerald green breaths. Inhale, draw life force and love force in to your heart. Exhale, share it with the world. So we're going to do a chant, Yam, that balances the heart. Inhale, close the flower of the heart. Exhale, open the flower of the heart. And when we yam, we're going to send that vibration out. Yam. Ready? Inhale deeply into the heart. Yam is the seed sound of a heart. Inhale. Keep going, sharing emerald green, love light with the world. Good, draw inwards, receive. One more time, lastly. Palms to the heart. Love yourself. Hands to the heart. Love the world. Namaste.